Business models, you can think of them as how a company sells its products and services to its customers. The products and services themselves are the what, the customers are the who, and the business model is the how. So let me give you a couple of examples to illustrate this. So when you buy groceries, you can either go to a grocery shop and pick up the groceries yourself, vegetables, milk, eggs, and so on. Or from the comfort of your home, you could order the groceries online. Now, from the supplier's perspective, the retail shop that sells you the groceries is following one particular business model. Whereas the online grocery store that's selling you the groceries is following a different business model. They are selling you the same product, vegetables, fruits, eggs. You as the customer are not different in both cases. Whereas the manner in which the product reaches you and the manner in which they take the order from you is very different. So this is what we refer to as a business model. Young companies obviously, when they start up, they adopt a business model. It could be a business model that is already prevalent in the market. It's already widely used in the market by other companies. So they just imitate that business model. That would be the case if, let's say, a new hotel is being set up and the hotel just sets up in a new location and does the same thing that other hotels do. So that the company could just adopt an existing business model. Or it could choose to innovate on the business model. It could try and deliver that same service in a very different way. An example of a startup that innovated on the business model was Amazon. And its innovation was purely on the business model. So if you think about it, when they first set up their company, I believe it was in 1995, what they were selling at that time were books, which had been sold for centuries. The market that they were targeting, the who, was also not different. They were basically selling the books to the people who traditionally bought books. But the manner in which they delivered the books was very different. So they leveraged a new technology, which was the internet at that time, to creatively develop a new business model. So innovations on business models are very important for startup companies. And actually, startup companies find it easier to innovate on business models than established companies. Established companies actually face a number of challenges when it comes to changing their business model. And this is particularly true if the established company is successful. An existing business model, which is an interconnected set of activities, a business model is an interconnected set of activities, it dominates the thinking of companies. We call it the dominant logic. So cognitively, it places limits on companies' managers. And another example is Kodak. Kodak actually developed the digital technology before anybody else. However, it did not launch it because it conflicted with its dominant model, which was photography based on chemical technology. So for established companies that are successful, innovating on business models is actually a huge challenge because they have to develop a new system of activities, not just a single product, but a new system of activities. The idea is to conduct low-cost, small experiments in a systematic way so that you get feedback from the market and you keep incorporating the feedback into the business model idea, and then carry out a second experiment, and then a third experiment, and a fourth experiment. And you'll find that over a period of time, the business model will have a better and better fit with what the market wants. And once you've got it right, that is the time that you scale it up. So one of the ways in which large organizations can become more entrepreneurial is by following the trial and error approach. And when you follow the trial and error approach, you're consciously open-minded about mistakes. And one of the most important cultural attributes for innovation in organizations is openness or tolerance to failures or to mistakes. The leader plays a very important role in setting the culture of the organization. So one of the most important roles of the leader is to practice what is preached, to walk the talk. The second thing that leaders do also is they can create the systems and processes and the incentives that can support mistakes and they can support failures. The third thing they can do is recruit people. At the time of recruiting, they can screen for people who have that attitude of experimentation. Not just try and hire people who conform 100%, with the old organizational culture, but bring in new people, try and introduce diversity. So it's very important for leaders to create that culture of open-mindedness, of meritocracy, of an evidence-based approach to decision-making. And the most important thing that they need to do, first of all, is actually practice these principles in their day-to-day management activities.